Of the Local Comprehensive Plan Committee to order. It's 8:33 or 4, can't see from this angle.
4.
And it's February 13th.
All day.
And half the night, as Charlie Bean used to say. Okay. First of all, do each have a copy of the agenda, two minutes, and a document labeled table of contents?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I don't, what's this? Oh, that's the minutes.
Minutes, yeah.
You have the whole packet of table of
I
contents.
don't think there's any minutes in here.
No, there isn't. It's not a packet. You have to
There
take
is.
one from each pile.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh, I get it.
You can't expect her to collate them also.
Well, unfortunately, I
It
printed them
is.
all at separate times, so
Yes,
it didn't have.
yeah.
Well, you could have expected me to, but
No.
I'm not an excellent administrative assistant, so.
And Courtney's not around today.
Courtney is either in school or on vacation, and I'm not sure which. I think she's out all
She's
week.
out all week.
Oh.
Right, and I don't know if there's, because some Thursdays she goes to the Cape Leadership Conference.
Right,
So I don't know if this is a vacation Thursday or a leadership Thursday.
okay.
And she won't be here next meeting either, but in March she will rejoin us. But we do have a quorum. Mac Hay sends his regrets. He's on vacation this week with his family. And Bonnie Shepherd was unable to attend because of her husband's medical schedule. So. All right, I'm calling the meeting to order. The minutes are not on this, but I would like to
Yeah.
ask for a motion to allow us to approve the minutes from January, what do we got? We got January 9th and 23rd. So let's start with the 9th.
They were really very simple, so I move that we accept the minutes as printed for January 9th.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 5-0.
The next one's on the 23rd. Much to my dismay, I was not here, and I'm listed as being.
Well, she gave you credit anyway? That was very nice.
It just embarrasses me all the more, it just never got on my calendar, and I just
Well, we
forgot.
we did change the dates in December, which I think
No,
messed with
no,
people's internal calendars, Jan.
I didn't fix it, it's my
Please
fault.
don't obsess about it because you're forgiven. It's not an ongoing issue
Yeah, but you
here.
reminded me about it when you saw me at the school committee.
No, I didn't. I asked you if you were coming today.
Don't beat yourself up, Jan.
Yeah, I hate to be dumb.
Okay, so, is there a motion, on the minutes of January 23rd? Jan can't make the motion because she wasn't here.
Right.
I move that we accept them
As corrected?
amended.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Okay.
Alright.
Thank
No,
you.
I've learned that I can vote, I can't make the motion. I
But-
don't
but
think,
you can
I
vote.
can vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's two things. So item B on the agenda is discussion and review of 2008 plan goal matrix and place types. And Jay, you're up for infrastructure.
Okay. Let's see. So we went over last time, let's see, transportation, right? I did not have a chance to finish my infrastructure.
Okay, the reason I'm interested in getting this done is because it's one of the definite pieces of the plan according to the commission that we need to have.
Yep.
Infrastructure inventory, which is something you may have over there already.
Yes.
And then I think if you bring us the inventory and 3 or 4 broad goals that we can discuss
Sure.
for
It
infrastructure, that would
was-
be fine.
Was that part of the 2008?
It was not, it's new.
It wasn't. Okay.
It's new
Okay.
in this plan, because I reread the commission paperwork on what we needed to have
Yeah.
in our plan since the last meeting we had,
Gotcha.
and
Okay. So I will have an update for next meeting for that.
Jay,
My apologies.
Are you familiar, do you know that there's like, that there's a big discussion about getting a new phone system?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was on the selectmen agenda this week, right?
but I didn't see it in Dan's notes. I don't know if it actually happened or
Did they
not.
get to it? Yeah.
I don't know, because Mike Travato called me because they were going to need the projector of the laptop for the Blue Sea emplacement on Mayo Beach, Blue Economy.
Oh, the blue
something.
economy, yeah.
And that's
the
been
structure.
postponed. So
Okay.
maybe the other one was postponed.
Oh, maybe it
I think
was.
they talked about it, I think it's in the video.
The phone thing?
It's like 20 or 30 minutes, so.
All right, well, I'll take a look at is the video up?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take a look at that. Only because I absolutely am very excited about replacing the phone system, because the one in this building is in need of replacement.
Well, Harry Turkanian's been involved in it a little bit, since it all goes back to when he was a TA. And our committee, the Building Needs Assessment Committee's been involved in it because of the police station. You know, the police station
Right.
was the trigger for all of this. And, but I don't know where it's at right now. I think he's been getting some proposals from companies that do this.
He sent, in the packet for this week's Tuesday's select board meeting, there was a lot of information about a specific phone system. And I got through about half of it. I decided it was less convoluted than the one we have here, and I'm happy with it.
I mean, right now, it's just a matter of like finding someone that, with a proposal that makes sense. And
Right.
Money-wise and, installation-wise. So that's all I know.
Well, that would be an infrastructure goal that will have probably been met by the time we
Maybe.
bring this plan to fruition.
Yeah.
We have an answering machine.
Well, I have voicemail, but for instance, to program our outgoing message from this building, you have to go into 3 separate mailboxes and print and formulate it in 3 different places. That's why Jackie still answers the phone. It's like Rex answers the phone in town hall for the same reason. So,
All right, so going back to infrastructure.
Yes.
Just for next meeting,
Mhm.
just to make sure I know exactly what the extent of that actually is. So buildings, facilities,
it's,
roadway infrastructure too, and
I'd have to check the language in the
Okay.
paperwork, but I'll scan whatever's appropriate and
Okay.
send it to you. And you can make your best judgment.
That'd be great.
I think it's more a broad outline. I don't think they were all that specific. It's like,
okay.
because roads would, in my mind, be a big part of infrastructure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Which we have a whole pavement management plan.
Right, which we could just put in the appendix of the
Yeah.
plan. You could refer to it in your verbiage and then it
Right.
could be there. I don't think we
We're
need
actually
to.
looking to update that document because it's about 5 years old now. So
And what is it, I mean, a pavement management plan, like, we'll do this next year and 2 years out we'll do this, or?
yeah, so there's a index of pavement condition.
Mm-hmm,
So everything's prioritized in terms of what each road condition is. So Beta Group did our pavement management plan before, so we're going to reach out to them to update that because we've overlaid roads since that document has been
right.
developed, so it needs to be updated.
And the other piece is, I know, especially in the beaches, people are often interested in porous pavement.
Yep.
And
I'm very familiar with that.
It's, I'm sure you are.
It's very expensive.
It's expensive, and the maintenance, operation and maintenance is, because it's,
That's,
from what I've been told by different people, is that you put the pavement down, but it has to be vacuumed and swept on
It
a
does.
regular basis, because sand fills the little cavities and then it's not porous anymore.
exactly.
So we live in a sand dune,
Yeah.
which makes it less attractive than
Yeah.
Yeah,
it could
there
be.
is-
Exactly. That's why we really don't use it,
Yeah.
because of that reason.
Well, I was looking on the EPA website, and they have this document called Green Parking Lots.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only one of their recommendations. Most of them are traditional pavement with drainage and vegetation interspersed, so that the drainage goes not just sheeting off one side, but it's interspersed across the entire parking area.
Right.
So I think that's much more what, I mean, I have some goals for, I don't think White Crest is ever gonna be extended in my working lifetime. But if
Yeah.
it had been, that would have been my recommendation.
Right. In Provincetown, parts of Commercial Street are porous asphalt.
Yeah, and they have a problem with that maintenance.
Yep.
Because it doesn't perk anymore.
Right. So,
Sounds like a good plan
yeah,
on its
in
face.
theory, yeah.
Just
I think in an urban area, it would be good.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Well, I apologize for not having anything
That's all right,
to
that's all right,
discuss today about that.
all right.
I guess it was,
I'd like to put my 2 cents in about something, because the meeting I attended a month ago, I was concerned because my job was to report about all the open space and natural resources, and actually really the first 9 pages of this was all mine. And I got answers about open space, but I wasn't able to get any feedback about the conservation ones. So I'm happy to report that Hillary called and gave me the rest of that information.
Excellent.
And so that.
great.
Would you like to share that with us now, verbally, or do you want to do it the
Um,
next meeting, Jan?
Well, I must confess, Suzanne, that the committees I've been on most of my volunteer life haven't required the kind of writing and bigger thinking that is required in this committee. I have a hard time getting a handle on what I should really be doing. Because when you're on the school committee, you have secretaries, you have, CPC has an administrative assistant that they do the bringing together. We just sit around and give ideas and policy, and then they, And in this committee, it's nitty gritty. You really have to get down to basics. So, yes, I have filled in all the places that were blanks the last time I reported to you, which I can give you, but I somehow feel I should be able to hand you pages and pages of things that are in good order.
Well, I've been thinking about this, not just from your point of view, but from the
Yeah.
entire committee. And at this point, I am personally volunteering with everybody's agreement to take the matrix and create pages with bulleted goals by topic. And the updated information, I'll type the old goal and then the updated information.
Oh, okay.
So that we can have, instead of 9 pages for one person and a half a page for somebody else, we can look at it as ongoing or new goals. And I don't know, ongoing I'll put in black, new I'll put in red, something straightforward, so we have a
good.
visual,
That would be
and then we'll be
wonderful.
able to see the holes.
Right, that would be
And
wonderful.
that would be really good.
I'm getting a little matrix confused, and I'd
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
move
Thank
beyond move to a different place than the matrix.
Yeah.
I think we've killed the matrix. We've done our duty on that. So if I have what we had the last meeting, we haven't worked on the matrix since you were here last. If you
Oh,
want to just
okay.
send me your new information,
Okay,
I will happily incorporate that
all right.
for
I
the
will
next meeting.
I will send you,
Or I can send it
everything,
to everybody once I finish
open
it.
space 1 to 14 and natural resources 1 to 14.
Okay, great.
And just do the whole thing
Right,
in one.
Right, and then I will turn it into, I'll using that kind of framework, do the other goals that we've talked about on the actual matrix. I'm uncomfortable flipping through a 28-page document over and over, and getting lost in
Yeah,
the weeds.
yeah.
And then, my next goal, well, excuse me, to so many goals. When I bring the goals to the committee, we could assign the goals to one or more place types by place type. Break out my good old flip chart and assign the goals to the place types. So then, we do already have the place types listed in the draft outline.
Yeah.
Today's table of contents that I passed out to you echoes what we have in the draft outline. So at this point, I want to use this, where the bullets are, and put goals under each one. And then we can go from there. The verbiage will be the last one. I don't know if anybody here loves to write.
Yeah,
I would say Jan has said she's going to gracefully withdraw from that offer.
well, no, I can work more. I've done a second draft, and I can do a third, and so on with that. It's just that in the long run, after people do their separate writing, it takes a person, I
Right, we
think,
need a single voice.
yes,
Yeah.
to put it all in a finished product.
Maybe one
I
or
don't
two.
mind writing.
Yeah.
I do. I actually enjoy writing.
Well, good.
So
So
I can
maybe-
help out with that.
Okay, good. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 08 one, from what I've heard, had Barbara Gray's
Did you
thumbprint
write
all
that?
over it.
Yeah.
Barbara Gray and Rex,
Yeah.
yeah, which was fine for 2008. Because at that point, we were a long time from the original comprehensive plan, and we're getting a little series of requests from the commission to actually update ours. So they were kind of under the time gun for that. Commission's happy with us because they just redid their whole thing, and almost all the towns are in the same
Using it.
time frame that we are working on it.
Mhm.
So we're not under any time pressure, which is good. So thank you, Jay, for volunteering to
Yeah.
be the voice. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Jennifer, you and Jan and I were in sort of a three-way conversation since the last meeting about,
I had originally
She's
been
doing
assigned
this-
schools.
right, and I think Jan's the school
Yeah.
expert. So anything that's a school goal, if you could formulate it,
Okay.
just a bullet, Jan, not
Okay.
verbiage, just a bullet. Because
Yeah.
you're so familiar with it,
Of course.
with it, and
Of
you
course.
just worked on the budget and talked to the finance committee,
Right.
so it makes sense.
Of course,
And
that's
I
fine.
think from you, Jennifer, am I understanding that you'd be comfortable doing like
I could do an art.
cultural district and
Yeah,
art
Yes, yes.
and, I don't even know what other
What-
subcategories you're envisioning.
I mean, I think within that, some community stuff would come in. Because I look at this and I see what's lacking, and I think is
Right.
what it would be.
Right,
And my only struggle as I work towards drafting this, which I've been doing, and it's much harder than I thought it would be because it's a blank piece of paper rather than.
then like looking at something in
Yeah.
existence and editing it, yes.
Is what we ran into when we saw, for instance, what we saw as the micromanage of the historical society within a town's comprehensive plan,
Mhm.
and I don't want to overstep like that. So
Well, I think
It's
if you
more
bring
like-
them in, be more inclusive rather than exclusive, and we as a committee can discuss those
Okay.
concerns and decide what's
Okay.
appropriate. So you're not responsible for making that exclusion, and then somebody goes, well, what about this?
Okay.
So I think it's better to do it the other way,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, if everybody
Okay.
agrees. But I'm really bossy, so you have to like stop me if you don't agree with me.
Now, because, and my other question is, because this is something not in the matrix, or does this not even really matter because people are going to be putting?
It doesn't matter if it's in the matrix.
Okay, so I can really just put
You're,
Cool.
yep, yep,
objective, I can just
Yep.
put it on a blank sheet, it
yep,
doesn't.
absolutely,
All right.
absolutely,
Okay.
But you had done all this, Jennifer.
right.
Yes, I
Right.
had done,
Right.
right, so it sort of overlaps with that, but what I was really speaking to was the fact that in this matrix, there is not a section on art and culture.
And theaters and.
Right, exactly,
Right.
and.
Churches, is there churches in there? I don't think.
No.
Gathering places, I think?
Gathering places,
Yeah, I
but
think-
Okay.
gathering
Community
places.
gathering places.
And that is something that Elaine told me, they basically came back and said that needed to go in there at the
Uh-huh.
very end of this one. That some mention of gathering, community
Right.
centers or something.
Well, I think in Wellfleet particularly, the churches are not, each church is not its own little tight community. It's a big building, it's used by more than just the congregation for more activities and,
True.
I mean, the farmer's market is at the Congregational Church in their back parking lot. There's conversation with a local artisans group to start doing at that location. So, I mean, there's things going on that are not
There's
church
meals, of course.
based,
Right,
on church property.
right.
So I think that's really important. Oh, and speaking of community, I don't know if any of you people are aware of, there's a new group starting in Wellfleet called the Lower Cape Resistance Chorus. And we're meeting twice a month at Pres Hall,
Women, right?
women, and we're singing, I don't even know what we're singing, because I'm not in charge. I'm just gonna go and sing,
It's
but.
like protest music.
Yeah, it is. It's like, ain't gonna let no slavery get me down, and call and response songs and beautiful morning and things like that. So if anybody's interested in singing, second and fourth Monday at 7:00 at Pres Hall.
Cool.
A little,
And
Public is
Jennifer,
nice
you've looked
announcement.
through all this thing, right?
Yes, I have looked through all
So
that.
because that's what we were trying to get to that time, what was it, in 16 when we did the workshop. We were
Yes.
trying to get more of the cultural side.
Yes,
and Trying
exactly.
to get intergenerational things. That was the
Yes.
big thing that
Yes.
was discussed,
Yes.
that there's no old, young people mixing.
well, I think that the way I look at the commission guidelines is they give us the minimum, and we are allowed to add sections that we
Yeah.
feel are really
That's
important and current in our town and need to be fostered.
Right.
So I think that is, certainly Wellfleet is art and culture and community.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at the Oysterfest, 20,000 people come to play community. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's really good. All right,
To what extent
yes,
is,
go ahead.
Other than like the cultural district and the cultural council, to what extent are like town funds used towards Oysterfest or
There are no town funds
Right.
used toward Oysterfest that I'm aware of.
right?
However, there's a in-kind services
Right, that's-
arrangement. So
right.
there's no dollars, but there's a lot of DPW.
Yeah.
When we have our annual organizational meetings for Oysterfest, fire, police, DPW, I direct community services, and a number of private people like Jennifer, and then the M.A. Fraser, who does all the trash and recycling and portable toilets. I mean, it's all a large group of people that get together. So it is in kind,
Okay.
even if it's only organizing and make sure that, can you ask so-and-so to do this and make sure those are there and they,
Okay, and
yeah.
just I'm just trying to get a sense of.
And I can't think of anything else. I know the Friends of the Library and the Friends of the Council on Aging sponsor cultural things in the respective buildings, but that's not town funds, that's private funds.
I mean,
In coalition with the town department.
and they do, Friends of the Library do the book sale on town property, they do the distinguished speaker in the Congregational Church.
It's really symbiotic, you really couldn't
Right.
do one without the
No,
other.
you couldn't. Okay, I just wanted to get a sense of, that, I guess that's what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
is that, are the cross sections, because if everything was just something happening in its own little private entity, it's harder to put it on a comprehensive plan.
And the school committee has just given permission to the recreation department to have classes in the evenings in the elementary school rooms. They just put out a call for instructors, music, cooking.
Oh my god, like Winter Wednesdays.
Yeah, exactly. But it's going to be either one or two classes. Like Angel's going to teach people how to DJ, 2 classes on how to be a DJ, and and that'll totally work for the kids, you know.
my
So
God.
that kind of collaboration between the elementary school
Yeah.
and the recreation department is it's like a community center without walls
Yes.
concept.
And of course, we've given room we've given the office.
Exactly.
For school, so.
Which
now-
I was thinking this morning as I was driving in. I should never drive in without the radio on.
Too much
The too much thinking. The proposal from the moderator to have childcare at town meeting.
Uh-huh.
That would have you. I don't know if you've seen the room that they have, the way they've set it up at the school.
At the school.
Yeah, it's got 2 ping pong tables, a foosball table, and a reading corner with a rug and pillows. And
Nice. Yeah,
it would
I
be
haven't
the
seen
perfect
that.
spot to put the kids. I mean, it's the other end of the school, not
Right.
terribly convenient, but there's a separate door. The parents could drop them at the door and then pick them up at that side door at the same time.
That's because of the after-school program.
Exactly.
We use that stuff.
Yeah. So
Great.
I'm very excited about that, and thank you to the school committee for that,
Right.
because
Great.
without your agreement, it wouldn't be permitted. So.
Yeah, well, I think Mary Beth is very inclusive,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she works with lots of groups. I mean,
Yeah.
with Audubon, she has a list. I didn't bring it with me, but I had in the book I had last night. She has a page of the different organizations in town that she interacts with for the kids.
And she let me bring the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy educator to field day last year, and we had an all-school group in the cafeteria, and they learned about how you can tell one shark from another and history of sharks, and it was very cool.
That's awesome.
And the names of the fins.
Right.
So it was.
The art
It was.
teacher took off from that and did some wonderful.
She's a
things.
5th grade teacher, yeah, she did. So I'm very excited about us as a small town, that kind of thing, it really
Okay.
excites me.
Are you gonna take DJing classes?
I am not. They don't want to see this little lady up there, believe me. So,
Alright, that gives me some really good.
this is a really short meeting. Jay, did you have anything to bring to us this morning,
Not really.
based on the building needs or anything?
No, the police station's having some issues.
Oh, yeah.
My,
Yeah.
We're heavily involved with that.
The plumbing thing especially,
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I've heard some rumors about that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a very long run. For,
Oh, yeah, and I mean-
Minimal
for the
use.
downstairs toilet. And they've been having backups every 6 months or something. I think Mike said every 6 to 8 months.
Yeah. We actually just, yesterday, they replaced some of the flush outliners in the basement toilets to allow more flow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's one of the things we discussed.
Like the ones we have here that you would get, it's really effective suction and flow with these flushometers here, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's a major issue, and
Yeah.
we need that.
I don't know what it's going to take
Yeah.
to really fix it.
Yeah.
Changing the flush things may help.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if there's just a place down there where stuff piles up.
Yeah.
And, so, we'll see, there's that, and there's another piece of equipment that's failing, that we kind of decided is a warranty issue, that they need to replace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the purveyor, the vendor, is not being cooperative.
What piece of equipment is that?
I forgot what it is, what is it?
I thought it was a heating unit.
It's I think it's a.
They replaced the refrigerant in it to see if it would get more in balance.
Yeah, but
There's
it
some noise
didn't
issues.
work.
Didn't work, yeah. So they're going to come back and reassess it. And it's just a number of things.
At the meeting we had.
For a new building, it should be.
HVAC
like
seems
that.
to be a challenge. The fire station, when it was new, I remember Tom Ferreira going up on the roof with a hammer to get the AC started.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that should not have happened either, but
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear there's all this follow-up though, because that's what sometimes happens with, you get it built and then you just,
Well, we had to
Don't
reconvene the police station
check it
building
out.
committee.
yeah.
And
Good.
at the end,
Good.
I was chatting with Harry, I said, I got a feeling this is not the last time we're gonna have one of these.
Yeah.
No.
yeah, it's,
Yeah,
I'm glad you guys are willing to do that, because you've got the deepest knowledge of how it went forward anyway.
Well, yeah,
And
not, I
holding
mean,
people responsible, I mean, really.
well, yeah, it's just dealing with pushback, sometimes you get the impression they're trying to wait out the statute
Yes.
of limitations,
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
and so it's.
There's a lot of parties involved with
Yes.
it too. A lot. There's a lot of,
Subs.
pointing the finger
Oh,
different
yeah,
ways.
stand in a circle and point a finger at each
Pretty
other.
much. So that's
But
another
that's
element.
not uncommon in this world.
No, it's not.
Like, there were 3 groups in the building last night, and the door was open this morning.
Mm,
Well, not us. No, no.
mhm.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Wasn't us, right?
It was the planning board.
Planning board.
They were here last?
They were here when we left,
All right.
so.
We just, Terry was going to email the respective committee chairs and remind them, that's all.
Yeah.
I have to admit, my favorite forget to lock the building happened when John Morrissey was a selectman. And the board of selectmen was here pretty late. And I guess John stayed to chat with somebody else, and neither one of them knew how to operate the crash bar. So I have a picture of it. John drove his little blue car right up to the front door and blocked
block
it so
it.
nobody could open it.
What a hell
And
creative.
he came back, and then and then Terry comes in the morning. She goes, "Whose car?" I'm like, I don't know. So sticker tracker. Look at the beach sticker. Check the number. Run it
Yeah.
through sticker tracker. So she called him. He said, "Oh, I'm on my way. I left it because I couldn't lock the door." So she gave him a lesson in the crash bar, and we're all set.
Clever. Very
I
clever.
thought that was one of the most creative solutions in
Yes.
years here.
Yes.
I have to tell
I
you,
would say
I was impressed.
creative.
All right, well, this is turning into a short meeting. I hope you guys don't object to that.
No.
But I will,
But we can go home and work.
if you
Yeah,
want to work,
yes.
I can, I will start with the bulleted lists from what I have. Jan, you can send me yours at your convenience. Jennifer, same deal. And we'll do infrastructure next time.
Yeah, if you could email me,
I'll email me the language that I have from the
Okay.
commission on it.
just so I
Okay?
can, kind of like what
Yeah.
Jan said, just trying to define,
Right, I think,
what,
yeah. I think we have to, I'm much more comfortable with bulleted lists,
Yeah.
and then the language can be derived from what we agree upon,
hmm
rather than try to do it the other way, and then keep editing it. Poor Jan. You never have to edit it again.
No, I just needed to express that, I just didn't feel I was quite up to par with understanding and
Right,
doing.
well, I think it's a little,
You're not alone.
it's a little raggedy, and that's why I'm trying to pull it in
Thank
so
you
we can get our
for
arms around
sharing
it,
that.
and then go forth and do what we have to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think this is I really enjoy working with this committee, and I think we're
Mhm.
not gonna make it for ATM 2020, but ATM 2021 would be
Oh,
a
yeah.
reasonable goal as far as and to do it well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's, you know,
Yes.
and I have to tell you, after doing this for a while, all I can say is poor Brian, he was like trying to herd cats when he was doing it.
Yes,
Mhm.
So I applaud him for all his efforts.
Yeah.
yes.
So
But that was his job.
it was his job, but
And he
trying to get
had
a quorum.
budget, and he had a really large committee that showed up only a little bit. I mean,
Exactly.
that was really a huge problem, was attendance.
Right, and well, I think having
Loyalty,
9
you have
or
to be
11
loyal.
people
Yeah,
gives you a huge quorum, and everybody on the committee was busy
right.
with their own needs,
That's it.
and we all know nothing happens in July and August except crisis management. So, you know, it has worked out. So anyway, I would, unless somebody else has something that they're dying to share this morning,
I move we adjourn.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, and we're adjourned at 9:10. Thank you.